Historically, this badge and this power source have been mutually exclusive. Yes, Subaru had a hybrid Crosstrek years ago, but nothing with a charge port. Thanks to some donor parts and tech from Toyota, the Crosstrek plug-in hybrid can quietly whisk hikers into the wilderness because all-wheel drive is standard, because this is a Subaru.
If you want a plug-in hybrid and you want all-wheel drive and you want a reasonable price, you have two other options. The Mitsubishi Outlander, that's EPA rated at 22 miles of all-electric driving, and the Mini Countryman, that's rated at 12. This one is rated at 17, sort of splits the difference. Now, that doesn't seem like an awful lot of range, but plug it in every night, and that's over 6,000 miles of electric driving annually. Not too shabby.
And since it fully charges on standard 120 current in 5 hours, double the range by mooching off an outlet at work. Arctic temperatures reduce the efficiency of pure EVs, so there's an argument that plug-in hybrids are better in the snow belt, where Subaru is mighty popular. Generally, this model is only available in the 10 states that have adapted California's CARB standards, but it's possible your Subi dealer can order one up for you. This Lagoon Pearl paint is exclusive to the hybrid. Silver accents are another way to tell the neighbors you've gone green.
I've moved the TP test up because Subaru owners tend to be a pretty active bunch carrying a lot of gear, and the battery pack that's mounted in the trunk is kind of a chunk.
The 8.8 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion pack that's unique to Subaru raises the load floor up about 3 inches. Mostly flat, it eliminates the space for a spare tire if that's a concern. Standard Crosstreks can take on 6 packs of my measurement metric. Amazing what just a few inches can do to usability. Subaru owners are second only to Jeep people in heading off-road, so I'll simulate stuffing the cargo hold with camping gear. No shocker, the battery creates a big lip when the seats are dropped. In this scenario, the large cavity swallows up 14 packs of the 2-ply. That's just one less than the regular Crosstrek. Some might think a Toyota hybrid system was just stuffed under the hood. That would be wrong. Subaru's 2-liter 4-cylinder boxer engine that has pistons that fire horizontally, not vertically like most engines, sits deep in the bay for a lower center of gravity. It's detuned a bit in the hybrid, including the main electric drive motor from a Toyota Camry hybrid. Total output is 148 horsepower. That's 4 less than the gas-only model. Depending on temperature and battery charge, the 4-banger may or may not fire up.
You know that part where I goose the throttle so you can hear the exhaust note? That's not going to happen even though the engine is on. Even though I'm pushing, nothing really happens.
Subaru keeps its continuously variable transmission. Here it has a mode for more aggressive power regeneration. There are no paddles for simulated manual gear shifts in the hybrid. Crosstrek can be optimized for off-road or sport situations. Hold mode saves battery power for later. The engine can charge the battery pack, though that doesn't seem very efficient. Subaru sticks to its symmetrical all-wheel drive system. Unlike the all-wheel drive Prius, a physical drive shaft runs to the back wheels. On average, the hybrid system adds about 500 pounds.
So the hybrid is down on power and is heavier than the standard Crosstrek, and yet it's actually quicker to 60 miles an hour by about a full second. This one does it in 8.5.
Power and torque curves are magical.
So here's the thing, you cannot force this car into a pure EV mode. If you push the throttle even about halfway, the engine kicks on. It assumes that you want more power, and at speeds above 65 miles an hour, you will be using the gas engine.
I found a light-right shoe is needed to keep the Boxer from lighting up, but my foot is on the heavy side, I will admit. Like all EVs and hybrids, coasting and braking regenerates power, sending it to the battery. Even in the most aggressive regeneration mode, Crosstrek Hybrid pretty much needs feet on the brakes to stop. It doesn't do the one-pedal driving thing.
Let's talk about the brakes. I find the pedal action to be soft and spongy, and the transition from regen to the actual physical brakes to be on the abrupt side. Will I get used to it? Yes. Do I like it?
Once the battery is spent, Crosstrek operates like a regular hybrid. Overall, the powertrain dynamic is not quite as smooth and seamless as a Prius. Remember, it doesn't need to be charged, but that would defeat the purpose, huh?
As far as true all-EV range, as best as I could keep the gas engine off, I saw about 18-19 miles, which is better than the estimate.
I saw around 36 miles per gallon with the gas engine forced on. According to the EPA, it averages 6 mpg better than the standard Crosstrek running on dinosaur juice only. Overall, Uncle Sam figures the plug-in will save $2,250 in fueling costs over 5 years.
When in hybrid mode, the transmission definitely feels like a CVT. There's some of that rubber bandy feeling. It's not horrible, but it's definitely not a dual clutch, and the hybrid is not available with a manual transmission. You definitely know what this car is doing when stopping. You definitely hear the regen whine when taking off. You certainly hear that too. This car really talks to you.
That said, wind and road noise are kept out of the cabin. It's the hybrid system that's heard. Added sound insulation makes this one quieter than the gas-only model when cruising. Like this interior, the shimmering blue trim, it's a hybrid exclusive, not found in other Crosstreks. Same goes for a heated steering wheel, which in Bismarck, North Dakota has got to be worth at least $1,000. Actually $2,500, since it's part of an option package that adds this, a larger 8-inch screen, and a solid upgrade to the tunage. Blue is the theme here. There's a city block of stitching throughout the cabin. The driver gets a powered chair, the passenger does not. I like the bolstering of the heated leather seats. Seems to me they'll do well for people of all sizes. Of course, check to make sure if you're special ordering a hybrid. The automatic climate control is single zone. The expected storage is here too. Subaru's user interface with knobs for volume and tuning is far from snazzy, but it works. It's primarily touchscreen, there's no console knob. The response is solid and the layout is practical, just like a Subaru, and Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are standard.
The big question, does the battery pack affect the back seat space at all? Nope, just like the regular Crosstrek. Far as I can tell, I'm 5'9". I have enough head, knee, foot, and leg room. And these door openings, they're wide enough so that car seats come in and out, no problem.
Cushions are raised up, so thigh support is perfect for me. Apparently, the hybrid loses 1/10 of a cubic foot in the back. You'd never know. No heated seats, adjustable vents, or charging ports for me. The drive shaft tunnel is on the modest side. The back of the driver's chair doesn't get a pocket? Boo hiss. 3 is a squeeze, but 2 grown-ups shouldn't complain too much. Being a Subaru, shouldn't there be a ski pass-through here? And interesting, the faux carbon fiber trim in front and the carbon fiber back here don't match. Price? Well, like many electrified cars, that can get tricky. Base retail with shipping is $35,970, as tested about $38,500. Not cheap. There is a federal tax credit of $4,502, plus incentives your state might offer to get you into an EV. An advantage that Subaru has? Its owners are famously brand loyal. There's that all-wheel drive, plus a reputation for protecting everyone inside.
Subaru's suite of safety technology, that's a bit of a tongue twister, is called EyeSight. It's a camera-based system. It provides lane keep assist, automatic emergency braking, and adaptive cruise control, and it's standard on Crosstrek.
Well, at least on the hybrid version. I'll point out that while the hybrid's gas tank holds 3.5 gallons less, the total range for both gas and hybrid models is about the same at 480 miles. Only you can tell if the effective price premium of around $3,500 over a standard Crosstrek is worth it. Not everyone has a place to charge an EV. Many want more than 17 miles of range. Some need all the hauling space they can get. But plug the Crosstrek in at home, or work, or both, and visits to the gas station drop dramatically. That makes it more convenient. And don't forget that bump in performance. This car could work for many. The advantages of an electrified Subaru kind of sneak up on you. FYI, I live in the land of Subaru. They're everywhere in Seattle. Visitors might assume residents are all issued one when moving to the state. Hi there, welcome to Washington. Here's your Subaru. Would you prefer gray or green? Now, even though it's kind of stealthy, I'm surprised this car didn't get any attention, especially since Northwesterners have embraced EVs in a big way. And I'll point out that I saw 18 miles of all-electric travel in temperatures that were in the low 70s. The day I started shooting this piece, it was in the low 50s. Hence the jacket. Kept it on for continuity. Ended up getting really hot.
One last thing about plug-in hybrids. One argument I often hear against them is, I don't want to carry the extra weight of an engine around. Now, that doesn't really make sense because even a pure EV with long range has a very heavy, large battery pack that oftentimes doesn't get used to its full potential. Maintenance? Yeah, plug-in hybrids require a little bit more. I've changed the oil in mine every 2 years. Now, I think that's a good compromise to having a mostly electric vehicle that I can take on long trips at the drop of a hat without worrying about charging in any way, shape, or form. The bottom line is, buy the car that fits your needs. Always winning advice. That's Driven. I'm Tom Volk.